Good day. How is everybody? Got nobody. I'll hang out for a while. I'll drink my coffee. Wish my doggy would stop barking. I got one viewer. Hello, viewer. How are you? So, little drama today when I was out on the bike. I get home and I go to put my gloves away into the saddlebag and no latch. Can't get in the saddlebag. Yeah, no viewers. You're not watching, hun? Ugh. No viewers. All right. Can I be heard? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. I don't know if I can be heard. That's not a good thing. Hmm. Can I be heard? Am I? Can I be? Can, yeah, I can be heard. All right. Well, I am out there. So as I was about to say, I was I was out on the motorcycle today. I had a really great 110-mile ride. Thanks, Salty. Appreciate that. I had to go on my phone to make sure, but I was out on the bike and I get home. I go to put my gloves away, and no latch for the saddlebag. So I'm like, ah, great. I kind of fished down and see if it might have wedged itself. Nah, no luck. So I had to order a new set of latches off of Amazon. $30 I didn't have. But anyways, as they say, crap happens. But I had a good ride. I wanted to go down a couple of roads I haven't gone down in the past. And of course, Google once again hosed me. I made a map on Google Maps. I sent it to the phone. When I opened the phone, it opened it up, it loaded it, and then it went away. And I have no idea how to get it back. And this is like the third time Google Maps has done it to me. But if I email the maps to myself, they work perfect on the phone. I don't get it. And it's just too convoluted to convert a Google map into a KLM file or a GPX file, put it in the computer, put it into the Garmin GPS. It's a long drawn out process, and I'm not into long drawn out processes. So, any of you guys use anything besides the built-in GPS on the bikes? So you guys use your iPhones, your Android phones, standalone Garmin or TomTom or anything like that? No. You know, way back in the day before I had a Garmin, my wife was the map reader. She would sit on the back of the bike with a folded map, and we'd get to an intersection or something, and I would say our turn has to be coming up, and she would say, "Oh yeah, it's the next left or the next right, or we got a beer left or got a beer right." My wife was a phenomenal map reader back in the day, absolutely phenomenal. You know, when I used to ride motocross way back in the day, we had a oh geez, I can't even remember the name of what they called it now, but it was a scrolling directions, and every time you made a turn, you would scroll to the next one, and it would tell you how many minutes. It went by minutes. It would be like how many minutes to the next turn, which was always pretty interesting. But we more or less always just rode up Main. I only did it's funny you say that, Salty, because nowadays my wife needs GPS to get out of the driveway. You wouldn't believe when we first moved down here to Florida, and my wife went out. I forget what she went to get me cigarettes or get me something, but I said just go to the end of the driveway, take a right, stop sign, you can only turn right, take a right, and it's right there at the racetrack. Well, it wasn't a racetrack gas station, it was a raceway. She calls me up screaming and yelling, all bent out of shape. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the racetrack? Where's the racetrack? There's only a raceway. I goes, same thing, babe. Same thing. It was that went on for about a week, but I chalk all of that up to being stressed out from, moving 1,650 miles. Yeah, our first month down here in Florida was challenging. Didn't know the lay of the land. Didn't know where anything was. It was challenging, and now I just go everywhere, anywhere I want. Now I'm the one that complains about the snowbirds. Because man, oh man, they're terrible. They get, especially the Canadians. They forget that they're in America and 50 kilometers an hour is like 65. So, and when they're doing 65 out in these back country roads where it's 65, they're still not going 65. They're doing their 65. Hey, Motorbomb, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. So, Moto, you get many snowbirds up there in Virginia, or is the winter still too cold up there? Because I know parts of Virginia are, relatively mild during the winter months. Yep, yep. I'm hoping to get a bunch of viewers on here. I mean, I do have quite a bit of subscribers from one of the forums, and I'm hoping some of them will jump on. Never noticed. Yeah, mild winters. That's good. You do get snow though, right? I'm sure you get snow because you're way up there in the corner where West Virginia touches and Maryland and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania touch Virginia? Yeah, you must get snow up there, right? Last of the snow just melted. That's awesome. How are your daytime temperatures? I mean, geez, I think we're 80 today. I have the windows open. Let me look at my weather app real quick. Yep, we just touched 80 degrees. So I had a nice ride. It was in the 70s when I was out. It was a good ride until I got home and found the missing saddlebag latch. So yeah, didn't you do a vlog the other day going to work in the morning, afternoon? I think yeah. Yeah, salt is a killer, man. You know, that's the one thing when I lived in Massachusetts, if there was a lot of salt on the road, you know, just that white haze, I wouldn't ride to work. I wouldn't ride. I wouldn't ride until we had another snowstorm and it melted off or something. But I tried to ride to work every day of the year. It didn't matter what the temperature was. Okay, that's the one I watched. That's the one I watched. And I know I think Frogzilla did one on Fast Forward, which was pretty funny. I got a little dizzy going around some of the corners. I was like, geez, that thing handles like a jet bike. One of these days I'll figure out how to share you guys. I'm just using the YouTube studio right now. I haven't messed around with that other program that retired Harley rider sent me. I gotta mess around with that when I get up in the morning. 'Cause 4:30 in the morning is a good time to play with stuff on the computer, especially if you go live. Yeah, I would love to get another sport bike. I would like to get like a ZX14 or a GPZ 1100. You know, one of the Eddie Lawson replicas. Man, did I ever love those bikes. I had a GPZ 1100 way back in the day, and I traded. No, I sold that outright and used that money to buy the Kawasaki Ninja, and I absolutely loved that bike. That was probably the fastest bike I ever rode for the time because from the Ninja I went right into a Harley, and I was like, what am I doing? No power. Brought it back to the dealer, and I said, big bore kit now. I don't think I put 1,000 miles on the old three road glide before I had them ripping the motor apart. But if I knew how to post a picture, I would post a picture of my dyno sheet from my 2003 Road Glide that was making some very impressive horsepower for a 95 cubic inch motor. But alas, I don't know how to bring up a picture. That's another thing I have to play with. Yeah, you said that. I got to put my glasses on so I can read. I have I have a laptop here with a tiny screen, and I have a big monitor over here, but no camera. So I'm kind of hosed, so I got to read. Yeah, I love the quick pickup. Yeah, you know, I'm really surprised. I mean, I bought my Street Glide secondhand. It's a 2016. It's the Rushmore edition. I know it's supposed to have a different cam in it from the factory to improve the torque on it, but it has true dual Reinhardts on it, and it has the Screaming Eagle intake on it. I doubt the internals are stock. I really do. I seriously doubt the internals are stock, but that thing will go well into the triple digits rather quickly. I mean, if I pass two cars out on these county roads that are even going 55 miles an hour and they're five 10 miles an hour under the speed limit, I'll downshift in a fourth gear and I'll just wind it right up to red line and fourth and fifth, and I'm well into the triple digits. So I do not believe it's a stock motor, but I have no way to look unless I pull the Camchester part, and I ain't getting into that. Not unless something drastically goes wrong, or somewhere around 50,000 miles, and I'm going to change the shoes for the cam chains. Uh, Somebody asked me a while back when I was going to act my age, and I said, "Am I supposed to?" They go, "I don't act my age. I'm a child. I'm a 24-year-old at heart. I've never made it past the age of 24. I have locker room humor. You know, I mean, I'm a jokester. I'm a prankster. I mean, in person. I am sarcastic beyond belief. I mean, I'm a regular ball breaker on it. I mean, yeah, no, there's many of us out there. There are many of us out there that refuse to grow up. No, I mean, I go out there. I'm going to be 66 years old in April. Best birthday ever, by the way, 420. Beat that. So, yeah, I mean, I go out there and I drag the floorboards on the street glide, and the first time I touched down on the street glide, I was like, "That's it for the lean angle." I go, "My road glide had way more." Then I remember my road glide, I put 13.5-inch shocks on the back of it, so I gotta improve the ground clearance on the street glide. I probably won't go as I probably go 13-inch shocks on the back. I don't want to change the geometry too drastically. Yeah, sarcasm is fun. It's only one of the services I offer. Oh yeah, oh yeah, sarcasm. If you're not with the right people, you can get yourself into a lot of hot water. Oh yeah, I mean, my wife, she's an angel because she's put up with me for the past 40 plus years. 40 years. It'll be 41 years in the end of April that she's put up with my nonsense. But we've known each other now 43 years. Yeah, 43 years we've known each other, and she's put up with me every step of the way. My shenanigans. Geez, I can't tell you. It's just brutal. And she's to the point now where I zing her, she zings me back, and there's a lot of give and take in our marriage. A lot. Most people think we're fighting. No, we're having fun. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, love and patience is the key. I'm gonna tell you, me and my wife, we have taken some really big trips with groups of people, and we prefer to be alone. We've seen quite a bit. We've seen quite a bit. We've seen wives. I'm gonna ride on the back of the bike all the way to the first gas stop, and then they got to get in somebody's car or truck that's pulling their bikes, trailering. Yeah, it's raining out. What do you mean we're gonna go on the bike? Yeah, well, we're on vacation and can't plan on sunny weather every day. Seeing that, we went to. Trying to remember. I think it was like to ask my wife, but she has headphones on. I think it was 2008, we went to Americade up in New York, and we left our house in Massachusetts, and it was drizzling out, and it drizzled all the way up to Lake George, and it rained every single day we were up there, and it was raining on the morning when we were coming home, and our first gas stop before we got on the interstate, the sun came out and it shot up to 90 degrees. Let me tell you something, that sucked. And then because we were riding in the rain every day, I ended up with a severe case, I ended up with a severe case of bronchitis. Then I ended up missing a week of work because of the bronchitis. So I got a 2-for-1 deal on the vacation, which is always good. Hey, I meant to ask you, how is the clutch on that R1? I mean, is it as hard as the clutch on the Harley? Because I remember my Ninja, man, I could one finger that clutch. Yeah, I figured as much. My street glide has a hydraulic clutch, and even though I'm a really big fan of hydraulic clutches, I mean, Harley could have done a better job with this one. Yeah, Barnett makes some good stuff. When this one goes, that's what I'll go with. I'll either go with a Barnett clutch, or I will go with the S&S clutch. Yeah, but like I was saying, as far as the hydraulic clutches go, I mean, I love them, but Harley could have done a much better job on the pull on this one. This thing is ridiculous. I have this thing to work my hand for the clutch because when I get stuck in traffic, that thing's a monster. And I mean, I did a lot of wade back in the day. I did a lot of the ride like a pro stuff, and I mean, I work that friction zone all the time. I don't believe in putting my feet down. When I'm stuck in traffic, I'll just work that friction zone and I'll have that rear brake screaming because I get it so hot. But that's me. I don't expect everybody to ride like that. I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me, how you don't put your feet down? I tell my wife to sit there and not breathe, act like a sack of potatoes, and let me do my thing because I have bad knees, and putting them on the ground and picking them up and putting them on the ground and picking them up, it really irritates them. And then the next day I'm hobbling. Yeah, that's what I like. I like a clutch that goes and bam, you're going. Hot clutch will slip. A hot clutch will slip really bad. I had a I had a I had a chopper built, and I did the majority of the work on this thing, and it had a 96 cubic inch S&S motor, and it had a 5-speed Baker transmission, but it had a dry primary. And when that clutch got hot, oh, it absolutely sucked. Pull over, let it cool off. It was it was it was terrible. Maybe if it was an open primary, it would have been fine to the ear, but it was an enclosed primary and it was dry. It was a dry clutch, and I want to say about every 1,000 miles, I would have to take the outer primary cover off and use compressed air and blow all the clutch dust out of there, so it would, it would help it grab better. But man, that thing was a nightmare. Never again would I ever run a dry clutch on a Harley. Never again. On a what bike uses them? Real high-end sport bike. I can't think of the name of them. Very Very well sought after. Ducati, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, Ducati dry clutches. I think Aprilia uses a dry clutch also. Halfway through my 30 ounces. Yeah. Oh, but they sound amazing. That rattling noise that they make on those bikes, it's an amazing sound. I absolutely love it. I love mechanical noises. Fast bikes, real fast bikes. You know, the next video I think I will do that I post, I think I will put pictures of all my bikes in there. But I will have to load ones up on the computer for my Ninja. I don't have any computers of my Ninja on any of the computers. They're still on CD out in the shed. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's that high pitched whine from that starter, that and then it's like boom, and it's just that big rumble to life, and it just sits there. Yeah, I love that. I don't think my neighbors love it, but I love it. I know when I was still working and I had that road glide and I had those True Dual Reinhardts on there, my neighbor hated me every morning at 4:35. I'd go out there and start that thing up in the morning. Thing would just crack the morning and put out of the neighborhood and set off a couple of car alarms. Yes, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. I also like the sound when you come back from a nice long ride and the bike is sitting there cooling off and all the metal is starting to contract again and it's making all that tinking and tinkling noises. I love that sound. It's music. I don't want to hear knocking noises coming out of my motor. Ooh, knocking noises are bad. I never rode a Sportster. I was always too fat. Those Sportsters are tiny. But speaking of Sportsters, my wife knew a guy, and I can't remember his name because he was in the same chorus as her. And he rode his Sportster from Boston, Massachusetts to Sturgis with a peanut tank. A peanut tank. That's gutsy. Normal knocking. No, I don't see normal marking. That's like when the Harley dealer says, "Oh yeah, using a quart of oil every 1,000 miles is normal." No, it's not. There's something wrong if you're burning through a quart of oil every 1,000 miles. So that was one of the 77. That was Shovelhead, right? Yeah, that was a Shovelhead in 77. Oh, I got three people watching. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you all. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I'm surprised none of my longtime subscribers came on. And they probably all stuck at work. Work sucks. That's why I retired when I was 50. Couldn't deal with it anymore. Corporate BS. Yeah, yeah. Those older bikes, they did make a lot of mechanical noise. They made a lot of lifter noise that was normal. I had a Chevy Silverado truck, a 2001, and I'm going to tell you that thing had the noisiest fuel injectors you ever heard. You would think all the valves were rapping. Nope. All the lifters were rapping. Nope. It was the fuel injectors. Yep, I know that. Yep, they're only 1200 cc's, but they were fast and they were pretty nimble. Oh boy. A right-hand shift. First street bike me and my older brother shared. Yes, we shared a street bike. It was a 124 cc Gilera. It was an Italian model, and you could start it. You could start it with the spring from a clothespin. You know, hang laundry up outside. Yeah, you break it apart and you take the spring and you could use it as a key and start it up. So if one of us had the key and the other one wanted to ride the bike, just take a clothespin apart, start the bike up. Yeah, Dyna. I love Dynas. I would love to get my hands. That's another bike I would like to obtain if I had money. Is I would like to get an Evolution FXR. I think those bikes have such a classy look to them. I love the Evo motor. I don't care what anybody says. Probably one of the best motors that Harley ever made. Is the Dyna the one you still have? Is that the one you still got? Cool. I haven't watched most of the videos of yours that I've watched. You're all riding the R1. Yeah, those are the ones I started with. Was all the R1s. I'm kind of skipping through all the R1 videos before I get to the Harley ones. I don't know why. Must be my love of sport bikes. Yeah. I know some of the new sport bikes are crazy. Even in the price of do you mind? Dog is letting me know that somebody walked their dog by the house. So she's gonna go let everybody know, hey, get the hell out of here. How she knows somebody's walking by out front when she's 37 feet away. Hey! What a pain in the ass. I feel bad for anybody that had headphones on. Knock it off. Knock it off. Good girl. Good girl. My little monster, 65 pounds of raging pit bull. Yeah, yeah, the Harley has too many hidden spots. Way too many hidden spots. I mean, I take the saddlebags off of mine, you know, like every other wash or every third wash, and I'm like, where'd all this crap come from? It's like, what is this? I don't get it. And it's like, how did bugs get splattered on the inside of the saddlebag? You know, between the fender and where the saddlebag is, where the shock is. How do bugs get splattered in there? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I get it. I know, they're my family. She's a good girl. She just doesn't like anybody walking by outside, and seeing where I have all the windows open, she can hear every little thing going on outside. You know, speaking of bug splatter, I had a Can-Am Spider before I had this street glide, and I've mentioned in the past that I absolutely despised it. I won't say hate, because hate's a really strong word, but I despised it. And for the life of me, I could never figure out how bugs would splatter on the inside of the windshield. They would come up the vent, turn around, and splatter against the inside of the windshield. I actually have a couple of videos, early videos, of the bug splattering. Yeah, they definitely must get sucked in somehow. I'm probably not the only one that has noticed, you know, bugs on the inside. Then again, I don't know how many people pull their saddlebags off when they wash their bikes. I know, like I said, every second or third time I do, especially when we have love bugs down here. The love bugs, yeah, I actually take that piece off that's under the fairing to clean that, because there's no way to get all the love bugs out of there. No way. Do you have love bugs up there in Virginia? I'm not sure how far south we have love bugs, but yeah, I don't have one, and I don't like taking the bike to the car wash with the pressure washer. I mean, the pressure washer car wash, geez, the ones we got around here, they'll take the paint off your car. So I tend to do it all myself with a sponge. I would like to invest in a pressure washer, but I don't think it's necessary. That was a good cup of coffee, aren't they all? Do you guys get black flies in Virginia? Or was black flies just like kind of a snow belt type of item? Yeah, I definitely use a leaf blower to dry the bike. Definitely. Junk flies? What the hell are junk flies? You mean regular house flies? I never heard of a junk fly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, black flies. I remember black flies up in Maine when we used to go up to the cabin all the time because my parents moved to Maine in '96, and the black flies up there, man, those suckers would come out in the early spring, and they would bite you. They would tear you up. I mean, you would have welts all over your body if you got caught in a swarm of black flies. Yeah. Okay. I get that. Oh, yeah. That was another deer flies I didn't mind because they're big enough that you can see them coming and you can swat them away. And the horse flies, yeah, horse flies are bad too. The other thing we have down here is sand. I'm not sure if they're sand flies or sand fleas, but those things are terrible. And the no-see-ums, you can't even see them. Those are another ones that swarm and they bite the living crap out of you. Are you from Minnesota originally? Are you a transplant? Ugh. Well, Moto, I'm going to end this chat. I honestly didn't think it was going to go this long, so I am going to end this live stream. Thank you for tuning in, and peace and God bless. All right, so we're out in 3, 2, 1.